Today we are going to use these Dollar Tree notepads. I actually used a white one to make this cute repurposed notebook. But I plan on making a cinch bound one on camera today, but let me go ahead and explain how this one. All I did is add, it has chipboard on the back. I actually added paper, and it's 4 by 6, 4 inches by 6 inches, and then 4 inches by 6 inches to that. And then I glued a piece of chipboard to this and added my 4 by 6 cards. There's a ton of 4 by 6 cards in this paper collection, and I want to use each and every one of them, and I've figured out how I'm going to do it. And this will be a great way to use 4 by 6 cards that, you know, are not great for a card like this. So anyway, I glued the chipboard to this and covered it with this coordinating paper, the 4 by 6, and I cut the 4 by 6 card from the collection down slightly in order to frame it on this, and so then you have a cute little notebook. But today we're going to make one, but we're going to make one with the cinch bound. So I have my wire. We're going to use the mini cinch today. I have 2 pieces. I have my 4 by 6 cut apart, and then I actually added some other 4 by 6 cut aparts to the front and backs of these pages, and I did cut down 4 by 6 piece of paper to match us. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that real quick. We'll glue our 4 by 6 pieces to our chipboard. So I have 2 pieces of chipboard that measure 4 by 6. Okay. You could go a little bit bigger if you wanted to, but I'm okay with the paper matching right up to 4 by 6. So all we're going to do is add our glue to the paper or the chipboard. I find it's easier to do it on the paper itself, because the chipboard ends up soaking up a lot of the glue if you put it on it. And so just line it up the best you can. We may have to add something to the top or cut that down. We'll see. It's a little long. The chipboard may be a little too long for it. Okay, so I didn't cut this exactly right. Oh, I'm scared now that it's going to be too short. We'll do it anyway. This is just my sample right now. This will be the sample ones. If they're not perfect, they're actually my little junk pads, so that's kind of nice because I usually don't get one. But anyway, so I'll just make sure that I'm putting it on correctly, line it up. Yeah, I don't like that, but that's okay. This one will be mine. Can always put some lace or something up at the top, or pom-pom trim as well. Okay, let me put that aside. I'm going to work on the back cover. This is the back of the back cover. This is the inside of the back cover. That way you could jot down some little notes if you wanted to. This is kind of a good way to use those little journal spots that are kind of hard to use unless you're making an album. Anyway, I'm just going to do the same thing to the back cover, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm finished with the front cover and my back cover, and I'm going to go ahead and take the paper pad. This one we're actually going to take it apart, and so you'll just take it apart and make sure that all the glue is removed from the top of the paper pad, and we're getting ready to go in to punch in the cinch for the pages, and I'll be right back. Now I'm going to punch my pages. These are 4 inches wide, so I will put them in my cinch at the 4 inches on each side. The 4 inches on the right, 4 inches on the left. Okay, and go ahead and punch. And it should be correct. I'll do another one, and then we'll do the covers, and then I'll go finish the rest of it off camera, because there's quite a bit. There's 100 pages. Okay. Let me see if you can see where I'm lining it up. So here's my front cover. All I'm doing is lining it up. Make sure I don't have any paper stuck in there. But I'm lining it up on 4 inches on this side, 4 inches on that side, and punching. And you should get your 6 punches on that. So let me finish this cover the same, the back cover the same thing. Okay, so I will go ahead and finish my punching off camera and be right back. Okay, I punched all my pages, and now we're going to bind everything, and I will be binding it on the mini cinch. So my pages go on first. Just going to put all your pages on first. Make sure they're on there. And then I'm putting my front cover first, and then my back cover. This is the inside of the back cover. So the okay, and then I'm going to put it in. I make sure that both rings, this and this, hits the back of my machine, and I crunch. Just real easy. You want to make sure that it closes that, otherwise your covers and pages will come off. So you see how close that is? That's the way it should be. And then here's your notebook. Okay. Let's get that out of the way real quick, because we're still going to work on this. I want to make a charm for it. I did make this charm, but I want a gingerbread charm. I had to order some gingerbread, so I want to put a charm on here like this, just to kind of decorate it, make it, cute. So we're going to make a charm on video. Give me just a second. Okay, so I took this bead landing 4mm chain, and I have 10 segments of the chain that I have for my charm dangle for my book. So I'm using 7mm jump rings, because that's all I have. They're a little too big for this project, but that's okay. And I have a lobster claw. I believe this is a 10mm lobster claw. It could be bigger, I'm not sure. Anyway, I know people asked on the last video what I used. So here, I'm going to go ahead and put those 2 things on the chain, close it up, and then I have a charm, a gingerbread charm, of course, and I want to put him on the end of this, so I'm just making the base of my bead dangle right now. And this is going to be super cute. Oh, I'm going to put the chain on first. I'm just putting the end of the chain on. Hopefully you can see that. And then my charm, because it is gingerbread themed. Okay. There's that. Okay, so I'm making it for this book. Let's see how far it hangs down. It's going to hang down pretty far, and that's okay. So I made up a bunch of these already using my, what is it? My this, and you probably saw, if you saw my last dangle video, you probably saw me using that. So I made up a bunch of these already, and what I do is I go ahead and figure out where I want these placed. And so, and it just depends. I'll put, like, I definitely want a red and green on each side. You know, kind of match them up on each side, and I'm going to put them on each side. So here's a white one. Let's put a white one there. And so on and so forth. I just kind of want to mix up the colors so it works out. You know, that they're not all bunched up. So let's see real quick. I need a red. And I want to put this joy word on there because that's super cute. And then I think I'll put this. I don't know that I'm going to need all of these, but definitely 10. I will put 10 of them on here. And I will show you a couple of them, and then I will go off camera and do the rest. So I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to put it on that first ring that I can get them on. Let's see, and I'll show you a close-up of that. Give me just a second. Okay, I am going to take this first. It just makes life a little bit easier. And then I will go and just put it right here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put the, well, no, I'm not, because I need it to go on the other side. You could do that, though. You could put both of them on there, and let's see how that works out. It may work out to our advantage today. We shall see. Okay, so then I'm going to go to the second one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go down a couple of rings because you can always add more in between if you want. Okay, let me open up my ring. And I'm going to go down to about, I'm going to skip a ring and go to that one. And then I'm going to add, whoops. We're going to see how this works out. I've never tried it this way. So, why not? Okay, that one's not going to work. I'm going to go on this side. Okay, let's see what it's looking like right now. Okay, I'm going to have to come up and fill some stuff in up there, but that might work. All right, so I am going to go ahead and skip a ring and go to this next one and add 2 and just keep doing the rest of it. And I'll be right back. Okay, so here is the dangle. And it's okay, but now my charm doesn't show as well. And I probably shouldn't have put dangles down there, but I'm going to add some more to the top and complete this, and then we'll add it to, look how cute that's going to be. Okay, we will add it to the book, the notebook. Okay, and I'll be right back. Okay, here is the previous dangle I made earlier when I just did individual jump rings on each one, and then here is this one where we doubled up, and it's very, very chunky. So, which is good. And I added another little gingerbread there, and then there's a gingerbread there. And so here's what this will look like on our notebook. You just hook it there, and there is your charm for your notebook. And how cute is that? You could sell these in a boutique, you know, for sure. And or you can sell the charms separate, or they can add it to it, but you could also add it to this. And then I will have packaging ideas on Saturday. Everything that I make from the scraps and everything, I will have packaging ideas from this. So I made these two, and then I have made these on yesterday's tutorial. Okay, and I have some more left over. Anyway, there you go. Here is the project we made today. Okay, with the charm in the cinch bound notebook. Okay, and then here is a sample of one. If you don't have the cinch bound, the cinch, you can, you know, definitely alter it like this. And if you wanted to add a charm to it, I would do a small one, but you will have problems with closing the notebook, so maybe not. Maybe do a very nice decorative pin to go with this one. All right, let me know which one is your favorite and which one will you try to make. Okay. All right, guys, and I'm going to package these up for the end of the week, so you'll see on Scrap Buster Saturday how I package everything. Okay, all right, guys, have a great day. Bye.